Hello, welcome my bold and beautiful friends. In today's video we're gonna, what would I call it? It's in a sense a review of Bleu de Chanel dupe by Armaf Shades Blue, or by Armaf, and it's called Shades Blue. And as I said before, we're gonna compare it to Bleu de Chanel Eau de Parfum. For I think they smell kind of similar. They're not the same, of course. You can definitely smell some differences. But you know, let's talk about this fragrance, and then we're gonna compare it to Bleu de Chanel Eau de Parfum. All right, this will be the bottle. Tacky as could be, I guess. In the front you have the name of the fragrance and the name of the house, Armaf, and on the back you have practically the same, only without the letters on it. So I always thought that was a bit of strange, if you will. Alright, it's drying down right now. You can find this one for around 23 euros, something like that, perhaps even cheaper nowadays. Cap, of course, is real plasticky, and now it's dried down a little bit. Let's talk about the top notes. It opens up with grapefruit, cardamom, bergamot and lemon. And Bleu de Chanel Eau de Parfum, the original, the real one, I guess, opens up with about the same notes. Original opens up with grapefruit, lemon, mint, pink pepper, bergamot, aldehydes and coriander. So what you smell in the Shades Blue is right away a much more cheap smelling, just plain sort of body wash kind of scent. And in the Bleu de Chanel Eau de Parfum you get, I at least get really the bit of a spicy notes of the coriander, just creeping through the opening of this fragrance, and just gives it a little bit more depth, and of course right away you get the differences in quality. The mid notes of Shades Blue are ginger, pine, rosemary, nutmeg and mint. And you really get you know, the pine, the rosemary, some spices and mintiness of it. Mid notes of Eau de Parfum are ginger, nutmeg, jasmine and melon. So it's a little bit more, faintest bit more sweet, the original, the Eau de Parfum by Bleu de Chanel. But overall it has the same kind of spiciness. But again, you really get much more the melon in the Eau de Parfum, which gives it a bit more of an interesting smell, if you will. And the mid notes of Shades Blue are smelling real generic greenish with some ginger, and a tad of mint to freshen it up. But the Shades Blue definitely doesn't have the depth of, or the I would say the ingredient quality, or just the quality in putting it all together to have a real spoken out, really well defined mid notes. And that's actually is the case for the top, mid and base notes. For it smells really generic, blue, sandish, and in a way, if you compare those two side by side right away, you will almost think they aren't. This isn't a copy, if you will, or a dupe of Bleu de Chanel. But when you smell them, separate from each other, you get what I try to do, if you will, but it still isn't as appealing or as nice smelling. You definitely lack the quality in this fragrance. To my nose at least, I only thought of this as a dupe when smelling it separate and putting them side by side, and even with the EDT, the EDP and the parfum of Bleu de Chanel compared to this one. It just isn't, doesn't smell like a dupe smelling them side by side. Alright, ending it off, the base notes of the Shades Blue as vetiver spices, patchouli, cedar and sandalwood. And to be honest, you get a little bit of spices. It could very well also be the ginger and the nutmeg from the mid notes, but you definitely get a bit of a woody dry down, and the little bit of the shower jelly essence, if you will, throughout this fragrance. But the silage, the longevity of this fragrance is pretty poor, especially compared to Bleu de Chanel. And again, the lack of depth it had at the opening of this fragrance, it dies down and even lacks more depth at the end of the duration, the longevity of this fragrance. So how longer you wear this one, the more it smells like a really generic, just bluish kind of scent. And it even, it's becoming more separate, if you will, of the Bleu de Chanel kind of fragrance. Alright, the mid notes and the base notes for the OG. Again, mid notes: ginger, nutmeg, jasmine and melon. Especially the melon in it gives it a little bit more of a sweetness throughout this fragrance. And the base, of course, of incense is, of course, what it's known for, the EDP, for a little bit more of a depth in this fragrance because of the incense. It also has amber, cedar, sandalwood, lemon, amberwood and patchouli. So, as shower jelly as the Bleu de Chanel line often smells, I guess the notes of this fragrance and the high quality of putting this fragrance together and the high quality of the ingredients make it a real nice, sophisticated kind of fragrance. And I'm totally not a blue fragrance kind of guy. I wouldn't say I despise it, but I just don't really like the smell of it. But the EDP of Bleu de Chanel and the perfume of Bleu de Chanel are the only blue fragrances I like to wear year round for the, I don't know, for the mass appeal, for the well put togetherness of this fragrance. So how would I end this review of Shades Blue? Let's get over the longevity and the silage real quick. Both are pretty moderate, I would say moderate to poor. I would say it lasts about 4 hours with as a skin scent and you know, the first hour you have a little bit of a push, foot, something like that, but it isn't really projecting. It smells pretty generic right away, and it doesn't last that long. Of course, for the Bleu de Chanel Eau de Parfum, or Eau de Parfum, it's it lasts longer, projects more depth in this fragrance. So, final verdict, I would say. If you want a nice blue kind of fragrance, of course, Bleu de Chanel, if it's the EDT, the EDP, or the P, is one of the best, I guess, of one of the most mass appealing kind of blue fragrances. But if you want one, I wouldn't go with a dupe, however cheap this one is. I would say go with something like a Zero Chrome or another shower jelly kind of fragrance, you know, fresh or shower jelly. But yeah, I wouldn't go with this one. However, I actually use it a little bit, but personally I wouldn't recommend it. So, I hope you enjoyed this review. If you have tried the, what's it called, Shades, the other one in this line, the brown one, I guess the woody one, comment down below what you think about it. I've not tried that one yet, and yeah, I wonder how that one is. Perhaps I buy it one day, but have a nice day, and see you all another time, another place, somewhere else, or just here. Ciao.